Hello. It's Live at 5 with Debbie Drum. I am just about to gear up the GoToWebinar as well. So it's almost 5 o'clock. I got a lot of systems working here, so bear with me. We're not going to be starting the actual content till a couple more minutes. All right. Almost 5. We got the people on GoToWebinar waiting anxiously. Let's do it. 5 o'clock. Let's go. Hello, GoToWebinar folks and Facebook folks and YouTube folks. All right. We got a lot going on here as usual. The folks on GoToWebinar, let me know if you can see me and you can see my screen. Just put a 1 and a 2. 1, 2. Give me a 1, 2 punch. If you can see my screen. Thank you so much, Linda. And those of you who are on Facebook or if you're watching the replay, we're on Facebook Live right now in a couple different groups and also on YouTube Live. So go ahead, Facebook people, connect your StreamYard if you want to comment, because otherwise I won't be able to see your name. All right, so yes, we are broadcasting live from the Passive Income with Content group and also the Book Review Targeter group. All right, so the benefits of you being here live is that you get to see all this stuff kind of behind the scenes that we do here, and then after this the video gets cut, edited, and all this stuff comes out. Hey, Margaret. Margaret gave me the 1, 2 punch. Thank you so much. Let's see. We got Fred. 1, 2 punch from you. Perfect. How's this time for everyone? I'm thinking about going with the Live at 5 on Fridays because it might just make it a little bit easier for me to kind of manage everything. Let's see, we got hello, Henry from Germany, 10 p.m. Okay, it's a little late there on a Friday night, huh? Mark says okay. Margaret says better time. All right. So yeah, kind of just I didn't change the time earlier today on GoToWebinar. So if you got a notification earlier, I do apologize. I messed up a little bit this morning just because I was dealing with some other stuff, but yeah. All right. So we are just about ready to go with the content now. Thank you so much for hanging with me live here. I love it, but you know, you can always see the replay on YouTube, mostly YouTube and Instagram, but they do get shortened up a little bit. All right. Hello, and welcome with now. No, we got to start that over. What is that? It's so that's just like kind of like before we get started, that for me, I have a lot more energy in the morning than I do in the afternoon. So, but this is good. It keeps me like energized throughout the day. So, you know, thumbs up there. So welcome to this Passive Income with Content Live at 5 on a Friday, where I give you actionable tips to grow your business, get more exposure, get more fans, because that's what's going to lead you to make more money online, right? So if you are watching the replay, go ahead and comment along like, subscribe, do whatever you want. If you're live here, just connect your StreamYard account with Facebook so I could see your name, because all I can see is Facebook user. So that would be great if you can interact with me there. So my question for you is, do you want to make easy sales online? Please go ahead and type in the questions box or the comments box if you'd like to do that. All right, so getting a lot of yeses here. And my next question is, do you want to make quick sales online, like today? Not a week from now, not in a year, but today. All right, getting lots of yeses here as well. Cool. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history here. When I first got started in 2010, that's not when all this started. Internet marketing was well into people buying online at that point. I think it started like in the 90s, where people started to put products online and digital products to sell. And before Kindle was Kindle, and before Amazon was selling books and content, mostly people were selling ebooks online. Give me a yes in the chat box if you recall many ebooks being sold online. And back in the day, the main way that people would sell these ebooks were through long form sales letters. Now, I know that it's kind of hard to see what's on the screen right now, but you're not meant to read it. But it kind of looked like this, where this is an example of like neck pain cure, right? And they went through this whole story and all these examples and all this back history of all these stories throughout the sales letter. And the sales letter could have been literally like 20 pages long if it was transferred into a Word document or something like that. So this is what worked, and this is what this is how people, the majority of people sold their products online. And a lot of work went behind these sales letters, and mostly a lot of psychology. So if I was to write one of these sales letters, I would have to do a lot of research, a lot of studying about how to sell online and the psychology and what you do, because that's what went into these long form sales letters. Okay. And they still do. People still sell like this, right? Now, the disadvantages of these long form sales letters is they take a lot of time and a lot of money to create. And some really serious people that had deep funnels and were selling ebooks and products, some spent like thousands and thousands of dollars on getting professional copywriters to write these sales letters. Like, I'm talking like 20K plus, right? They also took a lot of testing, trial and error. So what worked with one sales letter in one industry, even today, doesn't always work across all niches. So you have to do a lot of testing. Sure, you could model after that, but it doesn't mean that it would necessarily work. They're just a pain because they take a lot of work and they take a lot of time, and they usually can't be done in one day, in one sitting, right? I mean, if you're really serious and you're putting like a lot of work into a product, you're probably not going to be able to put up a sales letter or long form sales letter in one day and make sales that same day. It's probably just not going to happen, right? Something will suffer. Either the sales will suffer or the sales letter just won't be as long, okay? So the good news is that these long sales letters, at times, because people are still like marketing with these long sales letters, but the long sales letters, they're not needed as much anymore. And that's really, really good news because of all the disadvantages that I just talked about. So you might be saying, why and how is this possible? So how are we selling, right? How do we get around this, and how do we do less work, and how do we get people to be able to give us money a little bit easier without having to be like an expert in buyer psychology and all this stuff, right? It's because you can now sell with all these different places where you can put all types of content. So meaning that you can sell with a blog post, right? These examples here are more written. So you can sell with a blog post, you can sell with a social media post, you could sell with a Pinterest post, you can sell with a Quora post, right? So there's different ways now that we can actually communicate with our buyers and not necessarily have it be in this long form, well thought out way of making sales, right? So you've seen, I'm sure, blog posts, of course, where people go into like detail about a topic, and then, they're selling something, leading people to the next step, the next thing that they should buy, or whatever it is, right? And I'm sure you've seen like social media posts now. Actually, the social media posts that are very, very popular and the ones that Facebook likes the most are the ones that are pretty like content heavy, right? So even on Instagram and Facebook, you see that people are kind of writing out, they're writing out stories, they're giving you background information, they're giving examples, they're giving bullet points. It's not just like, here's a little blurb and now go buy my thing, and which leads to a long form sales letter, right? So these are the different ways that people can sell without having to be so, all right, let me pay somebody $20,000 to write this sales letter for me, right? Another way that you can sell these days too is with video content, like videos on like YouTube, Vimeo, on a blog post, of course, on a webinar, on live video, right? So like I'm doing right now, I'm live and I'm also on a webinar. Any type of presentation, even if you're giving a presentation from the stage, or even, like a virtual stage or a real life stage, okay? And the great part about this is that all this content that you're giving already is kind of making the sale. And it is your form of a long form sales letter. It's just not a long form sales letter, right? It's a little bit easier to kind of wrap your head around, and you could just kind of get the content out like you're used to. And any, regular person like you and me can now make easier sales with this form of content as opposed to the long form content, right? So it's a lot easier to do. And one of the things that I've noticed online today, which is a really great benefit for people like us, for people who want to make money today and not have to go through all this trial and error, are sophisticated and professional shopping carts that really get the job done. So here's an example of a checkout page. This is the one that I just kind of been using for this new product that I put out that you might have seen. It's called Tiny Content, Giant Profits. And a lot of the times too, what I first want to say is, look at these two side by side, right? What looks easier to have put together, this one checkout page or this long form sales letter? Obviously, the long form sales letter takes a lot more work. But a lot of the times too, what I wanted to say is that if you're writing a piece of content and you're talking about a product, whatever it is that you want to sell, and then you lead somebody to a sales letter, what happens? It kind of slows down the buying process, right? Because now the person is getting into all the detail as opposed to just be like, yeah, I read the content, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the next step. Whereas with the long form sales letter, there's a lot of distractions to get the person or to get the sale to actually slow down, right? So this is for you Facebook people here. This is the slide I'm on now. What looks easier to create, right? So one of the shopping carts that I'm really, really digging, and I've done a lot of research behind this, and I'll have a lot of years behind me selling products, and I really am recommending now what's called Thrive Cart. And here's why. Number one, it's a one-time fee. There's no ongoing yearly fees for Thrivecart. It's very easy to use. It has really nice checkout pages. So checkout pages that have they're industry standard for people to be like, this is what I get. Here's some testimonials, and let me just go ahead and quickly, securely check out and purchase, right? I also like it because it has multi-payment options on one checkout page. So for example, here for my product, I have a one-time payment or a split pay, and they don't have to go to different places to pick what they want. They can just pick it right there on that page. So I want to make it as easy for the consumer to make their buying decision right from this one simple, clean checkout page. All right. You can also do payment bumps, which I really like, which means like you can do add-ons. So it's a simple little checkbox if people want to get like a special deal that you might be offering right on that checkout page. There's also a nice affiliate program that's already built in. It's all professional and it's highly vetted. So which means that I see a lot of like high level marketers using this tool. So which made me comfortable using it and purchasing it, and now recommending it to the folks who want to make sales, make money come into your business just a little bit easier, right? So quicker and easier. That's what we're all about here, right? If we want to do the long form sales letter, that is totally fine. And it makes sense when you want to put the work in behind something that you're really selling on an ongoing basis. But let's say there's something quick that you want to put together. You don't always need to have what could take you months and months to perfect to bring money in the door, right? So the link to purchase through my link is debdrum.com/thrivecart. And I also have a cool bonus that I'm throwing in for folks who purchase through me. We're going to include this deal, and it's a 30-minute private session with me. So you get 3 different times to talk to me. You can ask me anything. You can talk about your how we can better sell your products. And I'm really getting into and digging that I'm pretty darn good at finding hidden money in your business. So if you're thinking about different ways you want to make money online, or different ways that you want to make money in your business, I help you kind of sift through what you already have and find things that you can make more money with, or other avenues of income for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this link in the chat box right now for those of you who just want to have it. It's debdrum.com/thrivecart. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead now and just check out the questions. Yeah, Margaret, great thinking. I think you said this before. I even talked about it with videos and reviews for sure. That's I'm really seeing that people either like writing content or they like to do video. If you work with me, then I try to get you to kind of do both because then you can really get the benefit of having both ways that people like to learn or just get more information about your content, right? So some people, they don't like video, they like to read. Some people like to read and or they like video and they don't like to read, whatever it is, okay? So very, very cool. Let me just go ahead and check my Facebook and see what we got going on here. Hey there, and Michelle and Mitchell, and another Facebook user. Cool. And let me just go ahead and play around here with my StreamYard and put the link in. Let me know if you have any questions about what we talked about today. Bio card, add banner, show. That's cool. So for those of you who are on Facebook right now, you get to see this cool little banner that I have here. And that's fun. All right. So let's see. Yeah, Don, like I said, I mean, I still do long form sales letters for different products, and they're not quite as long as the old school ones used to be, but they definitely do still take a lot of time. And a lot of times too, people do want to see more information, so it is helpful, but this is more for things where you're like, you want to just get a product up, maybe even test it out and see if it's going to sell before you invest a lot more time into getting a sales letter created. That's definitely an idea, because the last thing that you want to do is just put all of your energy into something and maybe it doesn't convert for whatever reason, which has happened to me. Okay. And that's how I know. Some of the other checkout mechanisms that we have here. For those of you who know me and have purchased from me, I used Zaxxa in the past. I still use Zaxxa for my products. However, for this particular need that I recently wanted to test out, whereas getting products out a little bit quicker without having to do the sales letter, I wanted to do it this way, and Zaxxa doesn't really make it very easy for you, especially if you want the option of to pay on one page. They just don't do it. I don't know why they're not kind of getting more savvy with the checkout pages. Very sophisticated, nice, clean checkout pages Zaxxa has, and they're also more expensive. They're a yearly fee, so that's one of the big differences. Another thing is that Thrivecart is a private network, so it's not like they're going to be taking your leads and selling them other stuff, right? So it's kind of like they're not doing that, which I like. Some of the checkout options that we have, like with Warrior Plus and JVZoo, which are great, and I've used both of those in the past. They're they're using your leads. That's one of their revenue sources. And there is a benefit to that, because you're not paying anything up front to use their checkout. So it's a give and take. So it really just depends on where you are in your business, right? Margaret, that's it's just debdrum.com/TCGP. TCGP. That's the product I did a webinar this week on, and that's the first product that went through ThriveCart, and that's why I'm really loving it and really getting behind it, and also wanting to give this bonus for whoever is looking to purchase it and wants a little bit more help in the area of selling a product, right? So like the buyer psychology is still needed with the little checkout content that we do have to write, right? There still is some buyer psychology there, but obviously you don't need as many words as you do with the long form sales letters, right? Cool. All right, these are designed to be quick, so thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. Let me know wherever you can, whether it's my Facebook group, whether it's my help desk, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is. If you like this 5 o'clock time, live at 5, it was fun for me. Let me know if it works for you, and we'll see how we want to do it in the future, okay? Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.